Well, hi everyone, and welcome to Community Journal. Thank you very much for joining us. And I can't believe that Labor Day is this weekend.
That's right, isn't it?
I don't know who stole summer, but it's gone.
Where did summer go?
Yeah, I know.
But even though it's Labor Day and people sort of think, oh, gee, that's the end of the summer season, we have so much going on in town.
Yes, we do.
Folks, you better get your pencil and paper because we've got so many announcements this week. There's so much happening. It's head spinning, really.
Yes, it is. It's mind-boggling, so be ready.
September is a very busy month.
It really is.
Yes.
It really is,
Yes.
Paul, and
Yes.
A lot of
And
fun.
fun stuff.
I was just going to, yeah, that's for sure. So be ready. We've got a lot of great announcements this month, and a lot of great things going on. The weather is going to cooperate, hopefully, this weekend. So just get out there and enjoy. We're going to start this week. Paul, you sat down with Michael at the Conservation Trust.
Yes, and Michael had a couple of things he wanted to sort of review, and we said goodbye.
Oh, okay, very good.
Welcome again to Channel 18's Community Journal, and our guest today is Michael Lack, the director of the Harwich Conservation Trust. And Michael, it's good to have you.
It's good to be here, Paul. Thank you. Thank you for everything.
No, not at all. It's been a pleasure.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
I've enjoyed it.
Oh, and so have I very much. Yeah,
Very good.
we've covered a lot of conservation ground together, haven't we?
Yes,
Yeah,
we have.
Yeah.
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 And you have two more things today. And what Michael and I are referring to is this will be our last interview together. I've sold my home and I'll be leaving the Cape sometime in September. So thank you for letting me say that.
Absolutely. Yeah. Yeah. Thinking of you and wishing you all the very, very best.
Well, thank you very much. Yeah.
Absolutely. It's been a pleasure.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
No more than for me. So what is it about the Native American walks that we should want to know?
Sure, sure. So we've been hosting for several seasons now, from last year into this year, Native American History Walk Series, co-led by Native American Marcus Hendricks. He is of Wampanoag and Nipmuc tribe heritage, and his walk co-leader is Todd Kelly, 12th generation Cape Codder. There's a photo of Marcus Hendricks there talking to walkers on one of our outings. So Todd and Marcus have teamed up with us at Harwich Conservation Trust, and then Harwich Conservation Trust has reached out to some of our sister land trusts in neighboring towns to offer a series of walks. It's 3 walks together coming up. There's a great photo of folks meandering through the woodland, getting ready to listen to Marcus and Todd at one of the stops to interpret Native American history and the Native American story that's connected to the lands around us, as well as the story of early settlement by colonists.
Wow, that must be interesting.
It's fascinating, and then of course Marcus and Todd also talk about the interactions between Native Americans, or as Marcus and Todd call them, the first people, and also the interactions between them and the early settlers. And that will be the focus of the upcoming series that is titled Explore the Native Lands of Monomoic Territory. And it's sponsored by Harwich Conservation Trust and then our sister land trusts, Chatham Conservation Foundation, as well as Orleans Conservation Trust.
Okay.
So there'll be a walk on September 9th, Saturday, September 9th in West Chatham. That's where we'll kick it off. And then Saturday, September 16th in East Harwich, and then Saturday, September 23rd in Orleans. And it's $45 for the series, whether you attend one walk or all 3. Most people attend all 3 walks. But each walk is easily 2 hours. And it's really an easy pace with easy to moderate topography, so it's we keep it pretty level. some slopes here and there, but most people can navigate the terrain. And it's just a fascinating exploration of Native American and early colonial history that's rooted in these conservation lands.
The history must be quite lengthy.
It is. It's amazing what these two gentlemen know about the Native American lifeways and the early colonial events, and how the two connect. For instance, in Chatham, I'll just give you a little description here. The kickoff walk. We'll be walking the barrier beach at what was called Ragged Neck, and learn about Champlain's arrival to Stage Harbor in 1606. So we'll have folks consider how the story of this area and the background of why it was named Port Fortune by the Europeans for their good fortune of being helped by the natives to reach safe harbor and make ship repairs. But then how that port of good luck quickly became known as the place of mishappenstance. So there was a turn of events. And then we'll learn also about the lives of the first people at Sequansit, another place name, fascinating names associated with these areas, and really eventually evolved that area into being named Stage Harbor. That's just the first walk. And then the second walk in East Harwich will cover a range of areas known as Captain Jethro's Farm and Squanto and Governor Bradford and Pleasant Bay, where they were negotiated for corn in 1622. Then on September 23rd in Orleans, we'll go to Powwow Point and learn why the area was named Portanumicut after the Nauset Purchase of 1643. And we'll also learn about the legend of Powwow's Pond. So, so much fascinating
Not a lot of history.
legend and lore to explore. And people can find out more about this at our website, harwichconservationtrust.org. Space is limited. Yeah.
Oh, that's good.
Yeah.
So well, you should have a good group.
It's going to be fun. It's going to be a
think
lot
so,
of fun.
yes.
And the weather this time of year is still pretty good, except for an occasional hurricane. Yeah, which we hope we won't have.
I know,
Rain
yes.
cancels the event. Yeah.
Oh, does it?
Yes. Yeah. Yeah. Light rain will still hold the walk, but we make that call, in the day or two leading up to the event, leading up to the walks.
You would cancel all 3 walks?
No, just
That would
right.
walk, that first walk?
But I should be more clear. It's not just canceled. We have a postponement, so we have a rain date built in.
Oh, okay.
So if, let's say, rain cancels the walk on a Saturday, we have a rain date built in for that following Sunday.
Oh, good.
So we ask people when they're planning to reserve for these walks that they just reserve time not only for the scheduled date time of Saturday morning, but also leave a block of time that next Sunday morning in case there's rain.
Okay.
Yeah, so we've got it down pretty well. Yeah.
Sounds so.
Yes.
And the next thing you want to talk about?
Oh, yes, the Wildlands Music and Art Stroll, and we're very excited. This is the 5th annual. And
Wow.
again, a beautiful time of year. We're going to have it Saturday, September 9th from 1 to 4 at the Robert F. Smith Cold Brook Preserve, formerly called the Bank Street Bogs, right there off Bank Street. Now take a look. So there's Dot Hemmings and her sister Marge playing the famous piano from the woods, Piano in the Woods, it was known as. Now, just remember that story from 2009. This very same piano was left abandoned, an orphan piano left
that's right.
in the woods of the Bell's Neck Conservation Lands.
And nobody knows how it got there.
Nobody knows how it got there, but for some reason, that story of this piano being left all by its lonesome in the woods rocketed around the world. I remember seeing photos on the AP and Fox and CNN of this piano sitting in the woods, and I think it might have been a police officer kind of investigating the scene. And then, it was one of those 24-hour news cycle tidbits. But it was interesting, and it inspired an idea at Harwich Conservation Trust that, well, geez, there's a piano in the woods. That's interesting. What if we were to actually have somebody play it, and other instruments outdoors, which then continued to evolve into bringing in art as well. So we're going to have members of the Guild of Harwich Artists painting in plein air or live, painting live the landscape. So they'll be sprinkled out. There's one now. They'll be sprinkled throughout the landscape. It's just amazing to watch the scenes unfold on their canvases, and they use different mediums. Some of them are using pastel, some of them oil paint. It's really amazing. So while you're watching the art unfold, you'll be hearing live acoustic music. These are just some images from past Wildlands Music and Art Stroll events. So it's a really fun and lighthearted and just delightful way to blend music, art, and nature. Folks just stroll the paths, take in the art, listening to the music. We make the parking very easy. People just park at the high school, the Monomoy Regional High School on Oak Street, and we shuttle them down to the event site courtesy of Cape Destinations buses. And there they disembark and enjoy the stroll. We ask people at that point for a suggested $5 donation each for admission, but we will let anybody in. We want this to be an inclusive community-wide event. And
very good.
yeah, and it's really amazing for all ages. So again, we've scheduled good weather. But
I hope you have it.
Yes, if it does rain, the event will be canceled. We don't have a postponement date on that. There's just too many moving parts. But so far, so good. We've had good weather the first 4 Wildlands and Music and Art Strolls, and we are keeping our fingers crossed for number 5 on September 9th. Again, more information at our website, harwichconservationtrust.org, or just come on down, anytime between 1 and 4, preferably on the early side so you can take in all the sounds and sights, to the high school on Saturday, September 9th, and jump on one of the buses and join us.
Very good.
Yeah, it's really a fun event.
Well, we wish you luck with both events.
Thanks. Thank you very much, and maybe we'll see you there at the Wildlands Music and Art Stroll.
Well,
Maybe.
hopefully.
Yes.
You never know.
You never know. Yeah.
And once again, thank you for 17, 16 years of...
Yeah. Right, yeah, and you and I have been doing this for many years, many moons. Yeah.
I think it's about 15 to 16 years.
Yeah, it's fantastic. Yeah.
Oh, well, as I said, good luck.
Thank you, Paul. You as well. All right.
Well, that was a great interview, Paul.
Well, thank you.
And I noticed that you alluded to that was your final interview
Yes,
with
that's
Michael,
right.
and we're going to be talking about that a little bit later on.
You know, there's some news that you told me about when we were in the other room, and that's the rain news.
Yes,
And
we
they-
usually talk about that.
Yeah, we do. We haven't yet.
We'll do it now. I'll just sit here and smile.
It's a good time now to talk about it.
This was probably the rainiest August that we have had. Well, I've been keeping records, as you know, since 2008 down here. And we normally get between 3 and 4 inches of rain in August. This August, we got 7.96 inches
Wow,
of rain.
that's a lot of rain.
And more than 5.5 inches of that rain happened in one night. As you know, you remember that big rain we got. So it's been quite
5.61.
Thank you, Eileen. 5.61 is exactly right. So it was a rainy month of August, which is good because we could use the rain.
That's right, and we're pretty much up to date, are we?
We are. We're about 35 inches for the year, which is just about right on target, which
That's
is good.
good.
Yeah. We had very dry June and July.
June, July, yes.
So that sort of brings us pretty much up to date, which is good.
Yeah, very good.
Yeah. So even though we didn't do that at the top of the show, we did it now.
There you go. And let's hope that that's all the rain we get for the next few weekends, because there's lots going on in Harwich.
That's right.
That's a good
right.
segue, Eileen, and you can tell us some of the things that are
I
going on.
sure can. This coming weekend, September 2nd, on Saturday, The Harwich Police Jailhouse Barbecue is happening. It will happen from 11 to 2 at the Public Safety Building on Sisson Road. There'll be a dunk tank, lots of food, mug shots, face painting, and more. All town, so please come and join everybody. We hope to be there ourselves, and I'm sure the good weather will bring a lot of people out.
Oh, I think so. That's
Yes.
always a
It's
great time.
supposed to be a good day on Saturday.
Yeah, you meet a lot of your
Here's
neighbors
hoping.
there, and
Yes.
it's a great time. It
Yeah.
really is. Yeah, it's good. And also on September 2nd, once you've had your lunch there at the barbecue,
And it's good food, believe me.
or before you have your lunch, or after you have your lunch, you can attend the Harwich Cape Cod Antiques Show. That's happening also on Saturday, September 2nd. At the Harwich Community Center, and that's taking place from 10 a.m. to 4 p.m. There are going to be 30 quality dealers there, and a talk by Laura Urban is going to be there, and she's of Urban Design Interiors in Harwichport. She's going to be there giving a talk. There's a luncheon available. If you do happen to miss the barbecue, you can catch lunch there. And Jane's famous chocolate cranberry squares will be featured at that lunch. So there is an admission charge for the antique fair. It's $6 admission, and children are free. But if you have one of these cards, which can be picked up at the community center, you get $1 off on your admission charge. So that's a pretty good deal.
Good deal.
Yeah, that's a good
Yes.
deal.
Where
And,
is this now?
This is right at the community center, right,
Right
here.
here.
Oh, right here.
Yeah, right
Yeah.
here.
Oh, okay.
So
10 to 4 on Saturday.
yeah, and there's going to be 30 dealers, so that's a pretty good size show.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it sounds fun, and
Yeah.
there's lots of nice choices for lunch if you choose not to have the barbecue with the police and firemen.
That's true. Either one, whatever your taste
Or
is,
both,
there
whatever.
is something fitted for you right
There you
there.
go.
There you go. That's for sure. And we just want to mention to you, of course, this is a big thing every single year.
Oh, yes.
On September 9th, Saturday, September 9th, is the Red River Beach Day. That's coming up September 9th from 11 a.m. to 3 p.m. Free events for all ages. There's going to be for children, teens, and adults. There are going to be prizes, craft activities, races, games, face and nail painting, a sand sculpture contest, just all kinds of things going on there. There's going to be a Decorate Your Bike contest, and bikes to be brought and decorated there. Prizes for 3 age groups on the bike decorating contest, ages 4 and 5, 6 and 7, and 8, 9, and 10. The Barnstable County Fire Safety Van will be there. Pirates of the Cape will be there.
Oh, my goodness.
Magician Sean Burke will be there. There'll be a dunk tank, compliments of the Baskin's True Value Hardware, hay rides, compliments of Sparky's Old Time Hay Rides, and the Farm Animals display, compliments of the Kakunas family. All of that going on Beach Day at Red River Beach, South Harwich, on Saturday, September 9th from 11 a.m. to 3 p.m. So I'll tell you, that is a not miss. So
Yes.
get that down on your calendar.
And I believe they would like the children to bring their bikes for the contest already decorated.
Yes,
Yes.
yeah, you really should
Yeah.
do that. You should do that before you get there. Get your bike decorated before you get down to the beach.
There you go.
Thank
And
you,
you don't have
Eileen.
to worry about it.
Then
Just
you don't
enter the contest.
you just enter the contest. Absolutely. Okay. Do you want to do another one? Yeah, why not?
why
Do
not?
another one, Eileen.
Yeah.
Sure.
That same weekend, the Harwich Hometown Parade, brought to you by the Harwich Chamber of Commerce, is happening on Sunday, the next day after the beach day, Sunday, September 10th at 11:30 a.m. along Route 28 in Harwichport. They are currently soliciting floats and participants, as well as many volunteers as they can get. So if you're interested, contact the Harwich Chamber of Commerce today. If you want to help out or be in the parade or as a volunteer, contact them at, and here's the phone number, 508-430-1165. 508-430-1165. You can also go online to Cindy, CYNDI, at the @harwichcc.com.
Very good. Thank
Yes.
you very much. Okay, at this time, we would like to give you a Council on Aging update. This is a good one to pay attention to, and Chris Clark is going to be doing that for us. And so let's take a look at the Council on Aging update with Christopher Clark.
Hi, My name is Christopher Clark. I'm the town administrator for the town of Harwich, and over those last 2 months has been your acting Council on Aging director. I just wanted to talk a couple things this morning about my time here and also transition items. So just in terms of my time here, initially I was a little bit apprehensive about coming down and taking on the duties of the Council on Aging director during this transition because I didn't really have any skills in this specific area. And I just wanted to say that I have really enjoyed myself a lot. The community center has a lot to offer. The Council on Aging has a lot to offer. And I think it was last Friday, it was just myself and the town nurse that were in the Council on Aging office. And we had quite a few walk-ins and quite a few telephone calls into the office, and I was manning the phone, something I haven't done since a long time ago. And it was nice. It was nice to be able to interact with people on a very personal level and see that we do make a difference and help people on a daily basis. So to have that opportunity as the Council on Aging director to do that has been a nice venture for me to do that. So I just want to thank everybody for their time and their patience with me down here. So on to the business. We're coming up on the last few days of August. We will shortly be into September, and I just wanted to let people know of upcoming events. Probably the two related to the director, the new director. Judy Wilson will be joining us on September 5th. So that's Tuesday, right after the Labor Day holiday. And just for folks, that the 4th, that Monday, town facilities will be closed. So the community center will be closed. That means that the supper club that normally meets will not be meeting either. So the next one will be on the 11th. So Judy joins us on Tuesday, and we'll be very happy to have her on board. And I'm going to hold this graphic up. I don't normally hold graphics up, but we have a welcome party that she will be invited to and give the community as well as the organization an opportunity to kind of chat and meet Judy in a more of a little bit of a subdued way, if you would. So that is September 12th from 2 to 4. There will be some light refreshments. But I think this is a nice way to kind of integrate her into the community. I'm sure that folks that want to stop by and see her, I'm sure she'll be more than willing to chat with folks. So I just want to give people a heads up that September 12th, we'll be doing that for her. So that will be, she'll have a week under her belt at that point. A couple other things, I'd imagine probably by the middle of September, hopefully you'll be seeing Judy do this and not see myself, but some of the activities that we will be engaged in the beginning of September, on September 8th, Friday. Now that's a little bit early for the men's club, but because September 1st is a Friday, it's the second Friday of the month, the men's breakfast will be having their traditional offering. So that is one of the things that I wanted to bring up. And then there's two things that in my short time down here that I wanted to try to do was to introduce new programs and try to integrate town operations where we work together. There's 22 different departments, and as much as I can get them to work in a coordinated fashion, certainly I think that's part of my obligation. So to that end, I did meet with folks from the library, and the library will be running a program about how to integrate technology. It's kind of interesting. I'm in the age bracket where I didn't grow up with a smartphone. I didn't grow up even with, quite honestly, with computers when I was very young. So technology is something that I try to keep pace with, and think of myself as being minimally tech savvy. But I think it's an important opportunity that the library will be conducting an overview of how to deal with the different devices that are out today. So they are going to be running their program. Their first one is Internet Basics, and that's going to be on September 5th, starting at 2 o'clock. If you call, you can call the number to reserve a seat. We do have limited seats, so I would encourage people that are interested to please call. And that number is 508-430-7550, and sign up for the Council on Aging, sign up for the library program at the Council on Aging for, the title of it is Internet Basics, September 5th. So that's coming up fairly shortly. So that was one. The other thing I did want to mention to folks is we do have another lady coming in to run a feet program to kind of take care of your foot care needs. We do have that service now that we offer to folks, and we are expanding that a little bit to see if there is a greater need. So we do have that service. I think that's later on, but if you call the office, you should be able to get that. One final note is I had the opportunity to put together the newsletter, so if there are any typos or edits, it's all on me because I supposedly proofread everything. I certainly tried to do that, but I'm sure you'll find some errors. But in the newsletter, we are rolling out where we'll do a monthly newsletter. So this newsletter will be in September. I'm a little disappointed that we got it into the office fairly quickly, but it takes, as I found out, 7 days. But as we do this taping, it should be out prior to September 1st. So hopefully you'll be seeing that in your mailbox probably either today or tomorrow. So we made a good effort to get that out. We did get that to the printer early, but as I found out, the printer needs 7 days before he can get it to the post office. So I will coordinate with Judy to make sure that she's aware of that updated schedule. And I think one thing that certainly as we move forward, hopefully we can have people sign up electronically for the newsletter and things like that so we can get it to you instantaneous. I think would be probably a better approach. So I've probably gone over my, my time and my allocation. Once again, I do want to just thank the community for the opportunity to come down and be the acting Council on Aging Director. I have left a lot of work as the administrator behind, so I am very interested to get back and get focused on a lot of the administrative duties that I have put on hold. But I just wish to thank you again for the opportunity, and thank you here for your time and attention.
And we appreciate Chris coming on and bringing us up to date.
Absolutely, and
yeah.
welcome to Judy Wilson.
Yeah.
We'll be looking forward to meeting her.
That's right.
Yes.
Very good. And I just want to make one addition. I was talking before that clip about the Red River Beach Day. There is a rain date for that, just in case, because if it does rain on September 9th, they do have a rain date listed as the very next day, September 10th.
The
So,
same day as the parade and around the same time, so you'll have
let's
to make some
hope-
choices.
Let's hope that it doesn't rain.
Yes.
Yeah, but if it does, September 10th is the day that will happen.
Very good, Jack.
Okay, Eileen, what do you have there?
Yes, well, we have something else going on this weekend. The 2017 Pilgrim Pops Chorus is presenting a program on the Broadway giants Richard Rodgers and Cole Porter's music. The incomparable, I should say, Richard Rodgers
Oh
and
boy,
Cole Porter music.
that's great music.
And this is going to be presented on Sunday, September 3rd at 5 p.m. at the Pilgrim Congregational Church on Route 28 in downtown Harwichport. The tickets are $20, and you can call 508-432-9037 for reservations. The Pilgrim Pops Chorus and Jazz Trio return for the 22nd annual Pilgrim Pops Labor Day Weekend
Wow.
concert. I can't believe
That's
it's been 22
unbelievable.
years it's been going on. 50 Voices join director Maury Castro to present the Broadway giants Richard Rodgers and Cole Porter. The performance is at the Pilgrim Church, as I said, on Sunday, September 3rd at 5 p.m. And any remaining tickets may be purchased at the door. So if you really want to go, you should purchase your tickets ahead of time because sometimes they do sell out. I know that. It happened to us one year.
Yeah.
Doors open at 4 p.m. and all the proceeds benefit the Young Musicians Fund, a Cape-wide outreach program to encourage youth to enhance their vocal and instrumental musical skills.
Wow, very
That's
good.
very important.
Yes, and that next one you have there, this is something that I think is a great program. This is wonderful.
Yes. It's a little early to be talking about Halloween, but this weekend is the coming of September, and before we know it, it'll be October, and of
There you
course,
go.
the end of October comes Halloween.
Right.
And this is a very important event. The Harwich Community Center, along with the Youth Rec and the COA are collecting gently used Halloween costumes because there's a lot of children that don't have the ability to have a costume. And it's a wonderful thing that people can bring costumes that the children have grown out of or maybe don't even want to use. And children who want to dress in a costume can come and select, and they have a nice fun time on
kids-
Halloween.
Kids outgrow costumes very quickly.
They do. And
they're-
usually you only use it 1 year, and
Yeah.
it's one night,
Yeah,
usually.
right.
Yes. So anyway, the costume donation drive for the boutique, I love that, is happening now. Donate your gently used Halloween costumes for kids in need. And the kids themselves can come and pick out their costumes on Friday, October 20th from 5 to 8 p.m. And everything is free. So for more information, contact the Harwich Community Center at 508-430-7568. And just a few little guidelines on what consists a gently used costume. Most Halloween costumes will show some minor signs of wear. However, they can't use costumes that have prominent stains or tears. Remember that your donated costume is supposed to help a child feel special and confident on Halloween, so it should be in good shape. Can you take partial costumes or dress-up accessories? Absolutely. As long as they are in gently used condition, they can always put random costume parts such as tutus, masks, or capes to good use. Do you have to label or package your donated costumes? Well, it's really helpful if you include a note with your costume that tells the age it's appropriate for, what size it is, and what it's supposed to be, a superhero, a princess, etc. Including the costume's original packing or a hanger and plastic garment bag makes it so much easier for them to store the costume, and they always accept good costumes without those items. If you have any costumes or costume accessories you have no more use for, please drop them off at the Community Center front desk, and we thank you for your support. So, boutique is happening.
Yeah, that's been
Please
a
donate.
really successful campaign.
Yes, I
It really
know.
has.
You know, people are wonderful. They really
worked.
are.
It's
Yeah.
worked well,
Yeah.
and the kids, you
Oh,
know,
and it makes kids
they
so
get quite a
happy.
few. You know, maybe 50 or 60 kids that get these.
Isn't that
costumes.
wonderful
Wow,
when
that's
you think
wonderful.
of it? It really is wonderful.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it is. It
Yeah.
is. We're all here to help each other.
That's
so,
right.
Yeah.
That's right. No, that's great. Thanks, Eileen. This is one, it's coming also in October, but it's not too early to plan to attend this because this is a great event for both kids and adults alike. It's called the Harwich Community Center Touch-A-Truck. Come see fire trucks, street sweepers, loaders, construction equipment, emergency vehicles, bobcats, and more up close and personal. This is where kids, you know, kids love these big trucks. I mean, they collect models of them, they play with them. This is a chance to see the real thing, to get up on them, to touch them, and this is free and it's open to all ages. And it's going to be happening in the community center parking lot. And this is going to happen on Saturday, October 14th from 11 a.m. to 2 p.m. It brings together shiny vehicles and kids. I mean, what a great combination, you know?
I know. We have
Kids love
three
these
little
things.
grandsons that would just love to be a
They
part
would go
of this.
nuts
They
to
don't
come
live
to this.
near
No,
enough to-
unfortunately, they
to
don't live
attend,
near
no.
here. But you know, and they're adult companions, kids at heart. You know, I know a lot of adults
Yeah,
that
so do
love this thing. Me included.
Yes, I know who I'm bringing.
You know, you can sit on them, you can touch them. It's a lot of fun. It
Yeah.
really is. And best of all, there's free ice cream.
Ooh,
So I mean, you know, talk about a great take.
it's a don't miss.
It's a don't miss, 11 a.m. to 2 p.m. on October 14th, and right here in the community center parking lot. For more information, you can call 508-430-7568. That's 508-430-7568 for this year's Touch-A-Truck.
And I imagine it's rain or shine.
Yeah, it
Yeah.
doesn't say it wouldn't be, so
Yeah,
hopefully,
imagine.
hopefully it won't rain.
Yes, yes, that's what we're hoping for, but we have a lot of hope in there with all the things going on.
That's for sure. And, you know, as you know, there has been a great, horrible disaster down in Houston, Texas. And if you want to help with Hurricane Harvey, there is an opportunity for you to do so. The Red Cross needs volunteers in their office to help answer phones. And as you know, there's been a huge effort to raise
Yes.
funds.
It's wonderful. It's so heartwarming to see the country come together.
It's
For a
overwhelming,
disaster.
really.
Yes,
It
it
really is. You can call 508-775-1540. That's 508-775-1540, or you can stop in at 286 South Street in Hyannis to help out. You can actually man the phones down there as they, answer phones and take donations from people, or you can also do a monetary donation to the Red Cross. Those donations are always accepted. So if you want to help out those folks down in Texas, this is a way you can do it locally. Call 508-775-1540 or stop in at 286 South Street in Hyannis.
And any amount is welcome, whatever you can afford. It all adds up.
It sure does.
Yeah, and they need a lot of help.
Yes. The next part of this show is sort of a special part. As Paul alluded to earlier, this is his last show, and he sat down with Jill Mason. Now, you know Jill Mason was the former director here at Channel 18. And Paul, you have had 17 wonderful years here.
Yes, I have.
And you and Jill sort of sat down and sort of reminisced a little bit?
We did. We went through, well, some of the big events of the 17 years.
So let's not waste any more time and let's take a look at that.
Okay,
There we go.
tides have turned. Now it's my turn to talk to you. I'm Jill Mason, by the way, former director of Channel 18. And Paul volunteered for me for many, many years. And I've just found out recently that he's leaving the Cape to be closer with his family, which I think is terrific.
Yes.
But Paul, let's take a look back. If between the two of us we can remember that far back. Tell me, the first time I remember Betty Pino was the one that really kind of reached out to you and said she thought this is something that you might enjoy doing, volunteering for Channel 18. Do you remember anything about those early days?
I remember my first interview was with the director of the new director of the library and the new director of the golf course. And they both came on, and we had a good time. I remember bringing books to the library interview.
I remember that too.
And that was the last time I brought anything, probably. But I remember that. And Tommy Holmes, that was his name? Was that the director of the...
Tommy Hall. I don't
No.
remember the name.
Oh,
But
he
you
got
know,
himself
Paul-
into trouble anyhow. But
Yeah, I think most people that are watching the show now, I'm sure, don't remember that back in those days, we were still over at the high school in that tiny room, and we had a small round table that you and Betty and Marge used to sit at. And
Marge was great, and Betty was good, too.
yeah, we have a lot of good memories with them.
Yes.
And I'm sure for you, a lot of times you were basically doing the because trying to get a word in edgewise.
Yes, probably.
Yeah. Now, the other thing, Paul, you started on your own. You brought a lot to the show, which basically the show back then was a way for us to let the people in the community know what was happening in their own community. And you came up with a lot of good ideas. You started obviously the Conservation Trust.
Yes, that was one of them. That's we
Your deal
just
with
had about 15 to 16 years.
right, and every year with the Mariners.
Yeah, and I was given a job as an umpire this last time.
Awesome. It's about time, Paul. It's about time. And you used to visit the clinics, the Mariners clinics every
Yes, I did. My grandson, was 7 when he's now 21. He's got a job as an accountant in Boston, and he just graduated from college. So that was good, and not only all the kids were fun.
Yes.
And that was a clinic, and they were all hitting home runs and doing things. So that was great fun. And the baseball part was a little more complex, but that was also good. We spoke to the coach at that time, and he brought his assistant coach in. I can't remember the names.
Yeah.
And we talked to him about who they had recruited for the team, and that was always fun.
Yeah.
And so, yeah, that was a good time.
Yep. And the other one I remember you doing, bringing to the show every year, was when you and Ron and Bill Flynn used to run down to the A&W for, what was it called?
The car
Cruise
Queen-
night or something?
I forget now what it was called.
Yeah.
But it was old used cars that we used to interview the owners, find out where they got them, what the car was. Some of them had 3 or 4 different names. You know, the radiator would be one name, the seat would be another. You know, the engine would be a third name. You didn't ever know what you were getting. But some of them were like that, and others were straight Fords, Chevys, or whatever you had. And so it was fun to do because I had a little interest in it, you know, and Ron did as well. Ron was great to bring me down and at times, and then we went together at other times. But we talked to people who had all kinds of cars. You know, they were, I don't know whether I think we even had a Mercedes one.
I think they still do that, but that was a great addition to the show. You brought things that certainly Betty and Marge would never think about bringing.
Well, they had different interests,
True,
probably.
true.
You know, so, and their interests were good, too.
Yep, yep.
Yeah.
Looking back on all the years that you've been with us, which, you know, it has been quite an extraordinary commitment on your part, and as well as a lot of our other volunteers who've been here
Yes.
40 years, even before the community center was built. What's one of your most fond memories of working here and working with the channel? And
I think one thing I remember was the outfit in Dennis, where they had the TV station.
C3 TV, well, it used to be C3 TV.
Yeah, that's right.
Cape Cod
And,
Community Media Center, I believe.
Yeah, and a girl was married to a fellow that I went to grammar school and high school with.
Oh, for heaven's sakes. Wow.
And so then when I found out that they were together and they were living in Dennis, and so I got together with him and we began, I guess it was quite a series for quite a while. I can remember one time we all got into 2 cars and went over to Dennis to a big conclave of whatever they were doing. And that was big, and it was fun. And so they had a station here in Harwich at the high school.
That was our station.
Yeah, it was our station, right.
Yep.
And so they were going to ship stuff over here. And I think, I'm not sure of this, but I think we got to be part of it.
Well, I think all the cable channels on the Cape are pretty closely knit. You know, we all share technology information and help each other out. But it has been a great ride. And once again, you know, your efforts and volunteer and your commitment, and not only to show up every week, but you always showed up prepared. You were one of the few, actually, I'll have to admit it, that brought notes with you, and you did your homework. When someone came and I said, gee, Paul, the people from the Sampson Fund are here, would you interview them? And you would take the time to find out what exactly is this organization? What kinds of questions do I need to ask? So it was much appreciated, and the community at large really appreciates all your efforts. And you're leaving the Cape. Can you tell us a little bit about your plans going back with family?
I'm going up to, no, what is it? Oh, whoa.
Watertown?
No, I'm not going to Watertown. It's
Hingham?
Hingham. There you go. Thank you, Jimmy. And There are 1,300 other people in this building. I can't think of the name of the place
Okay.
now to save my
Okay.
life. But I've been accepted, and I will be moving sometime in the third week in September,
Okay.
and I'll know this afternoon.
There you go. Well, that's,
The fellow is coming to check what we have to move.
yeah.
And
Well,
so,
that's excellent. The next step, next big change in your life. But
and then
change is
another
exciting.
thing that we had that came about with the I had it in my mind and now it's
Another
disappeared.
one of your series you're thinking about
Yeah, what was it that?
with Carla? Are you talking about that one at the
Well,
library?
yeah, Carla was big. Yeah,
Yep.
she had a lot of things to say.
Yep.
And I just had a course with her in the computer,
Good.
so I still have stayed in touch with her.
Good.
And she gets me a lot of books,
Excellent.
and she's been very, very good to
Yeah.
me.
Yeah.
And so I appreciate all that she's done.
Yeah. We have
And
great resources in this town.
You do, and you have people who know how to use them
Yes.
and want other people to share that same experience.
Yes.
And
Absolutely.
that's very good, and it makes it easy for you to do that and easy to call on these people.
Yes.
You know, and
Yeah.
the other thing, was the trains.
Oh, yes. The Model Trains,
Model
Cape
Train
Cod
Club, yeah.
Railroad or Model Train Association.
yeah.
Right. Yeah, I used to love going over there to
That's right,
Orleans and
yes.
seeing their Christmas
Yeah,
setup.
there were 5 train sets that they had
Yep.
all set up,
Yep.
and Jamie even enjoyed that.
Yep. Yep.
She
Well, I'm
went
sure-
over with us.
I'm sure,
too.
Paul, you have a lot of good memories, as I do. Looking back all those years, it's hard to believe that they've gone by so quickly.
It is.
But anyway, I just wanted to come in and thank you in person for all you've done, and certainly wish you the very best, as does, I think, most of the community wish you the very best, Paul. So, upward and onward,
There we go.
there you go. Thanks for all you've done.
Thank you, Joe. And thank you yourself. And Jamie as well.
Well, Paul, you've certainly had a wonderful run here at Channel 18, and
I have.
I personally want to say thank you for your guidance, your professionalism, and your friendship.
Well, it's been friends both ways.
And I want to
That's very
thank you
good.
for all the help you've given me, all the tips you gave me on interviewing when I first joined the group.
Oh,
And
well.
I'm going to miss you next to me on my left side. It's going to feel empty over here. It really is.
Somebody will be here.
Well-
I'm sure they'll be good too.
With life comes changes.
Yes, that's
and,
true.
And this is a big one, and it's an adjustment for everybody, and we wish you the best.
We
Well,
wish
thank
the
you very
best.
much.
It's a new adventure, Paul.
Yes,
Yeah, well, I look forward to it.
Yeah.
we
Well,
wish you the best.
very good. I'm glad you are looking forward to it. I'm sure you're going to excel in your new digs, and
Well,
you'll do great.
1,300 people there. So
Wow.
I'll
You have a
plenty,
lot of
I'll plenty of people to get to know.
You'll have lots of new friends.
But you won't forget the old ones, and I'm
No.
sure you'll be in touch with us.
That's
Well,
right.
Yes.
best of luck to you, Paul.
Yes.
Okay.
We'll miss you.
One last thing I have to do.
Yes, this
That's
is
right.
your last
that's
announcement.
Right. Okay, you have an announcement, Paul. You got to do your work.
There you go. Yeah. On September 4th, all the buildings in town will be closed, and that's except for the dump. You can still go to the dump, take all your trash there, but all other buildings will be closed so that you can enjoy Labor Day.
Thank you very
That's
much.
right.
Folks, that is our show for this week. We thank you so much on behalf of all of us here at Channel 18. Thank you for joining us.
Yes, and please take advantage of everything that we've been talking about for the past hour. And Paul,
And please do it safely.
Take care,
I
everybody.
miss you saying that.
Bye-bye for now.
Bye.